left, John started to post suicidal ideation type comments on social media. His friends, worried for him, did the right thing, and they called 911. 2 officers arrived at my home, and they chatted on the front lawn of my home. They didn't knock on my door. They didn't announce their presence. One ran to the car to grab a cell phone and to attempt to call me. The other one took a defensive position behind a tree. And for whatever reason, John decided to take the keys to my car that night and attempt to leave the house. As the garage door slowly opened, this officer fired 2 shots into the car. No, it is not right. One of those 2 shots hit John, and he lost control of the car. So the car began to spin around, and as it did, the officer unleashed 11 more shots into the car. 6 of 13 shots hit my son. He died instantaneously. And that night, I felt powerless. I felt marginalized and shut out of a system that I thought I was a member of. 1 month to the day after my son was killed, the district attorney in Johnson County, Kansas, because I'm a Kansas Cityan with you, justified the shooting of my son, allowed the officer to resign, keep his law enforcement license, and release a false narrative about my son. They used the get out of jail free card of fear for my life for way too long. Because we had access to a good attorney, we settled a civil lawsuit, and I got some truth about what happened to my son that night. But not everything. The City of Overland Park still continues to deny me access to information about my own child. That officer not only got to resign, I found out just this past summer he was paid a severance payment to resign. He walked away with $70,000 and his law enforcement license. And my son is gone.
Yes. That ain't right.
So my community, our community, have formed a group called JOCO United. And we are fighting for better training for first responders, and we are fighting for government transparency. Because there has been no transparency and there has been no accountability for my son. So we need your voices. We need your voices to demand that all of our officers are CIT trained. We need, and we've already filed it, but we need to pass legislation in Kansas and Missouri to demand more transparency in officer-involved shootings. And we need your voices to join us with JOCO United and demand change in our beautiful city.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, and let's bring this home. Yes!
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Leonard Zeskin. I'm from the Institute for Research and Education on Human Rights. I would like to thank SCLC for the leadership of this rally. And I should note that I'm not an emerging anything. I've been an active anti-racist for 53 years. Ever since I was 17 and learned about white skin privilege, and I joined the Southern Student Organizing Committee.
Snick, all right.
Finally, I would like to emphasize the importance of the young people who have been marching and demonstrating against police racism all summer. Give yourself a great big hand, please. Among their many accomplishments is they have been the force that has brought down Confederate statues and memorials. And something that you need to know, in the South, every county seat has a Confederate statue sitting in front of the county courthouse. And we need to change that too. But you and I know there's much more to be done. The differential between the wages of white people and people of color remains high, although it has been shifting a bit in recent years. The wealth gap remains large. The health gap remains large. The education gap remains large. There's too much to be done to be sitting down and doing nothing. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. A lot of people are waiting on 2040 or 2042 when white people become a minority in a nation of minorities. There is no guarantee that when white people become a minority in a nation of minorities in about 20 years, that white people will automatically learn to share. It's a sad story. Indeed, here we go. Indeed, the white supremacist movement and the white nationalist movement today grows when equality is approaching, and they must be defeated now in order to make any further real gains in this destroying this racist monster. Did you hear me? You have to beat the white supremacists. All right. My organization recently counted more than 2,000 militia members in Missouri. The Missouri militia has 17 chapters, and the 3% have some more. This is a standing army, friends. This is a standing army. We've got to beat it. We also have white supremacist students organizing conservatives at K-State and in other universities around. And the Boogaloo Boys showed up in their Hawaiian shirts for some of your protests earlier in the summer.
That's right.
And you got to kick them out. There's more, much more. The old Klan, the neo-Nazis, all of them. We must stand up now. Finally, and this is the point that's most important. If Trump wins or loses, I hope the guy he loses, the forces that will come back next year stronger than they are now, the white supremacists. And you will hear more from me then. So thank you very much.
Give it up for Sister Ayala, Jessica Ayala. We thought Sister Jessica was here. Here she comes with some grace. She's got 3 minutes. Give it up for Jessica.
I'm going to say, Tulucha. And then you're going to say, Milucha. Tulucha. Milucha. Tulucha. Milucha. Tulucha. Milucha. Black lives? Matter. Black lives? Matter. I'm going to say it like I've always said it. No life ever matters until all of Black Lives Matter. I'm going to thank so much for all of the organizers who put today's rally and today's march together. Give yourselves a round of applause because we did something historical to support the city today. We let our beautiful city hear our echoes.
Yes, we did.
And we are not done.
Not yet.
We have to vote.
Yes.
We have to exercise
November 3rd.
our resistance.
Yes.
Our resistance is also in our vote when we march to the polls.
Yes.
KCMO is here today to represent and support Black Lives Matter. We are here as brown, indigenous people, as Latino people, who are here standing next to our Black relatives in unity to say that we are here standing in solidarity with you. We march with you. We stand with you. Tu lucha es mi lucha. Tu lucha es mi lucha. At this moment, I want to take 2 seconds to honor each and every single Black life that has been lost in Kansas City by the vicious hands of this police department,
Yes.
but across our country.
Yes.
They now walk with us as our ancestors do.
Yes.
They have us close to us. We recognize them. And we want to say also that we need to continue, even after the election, to shout, to scream, to let Kansas City hear you, to let all voices be raised at this moment, and let us all stand together again to say, Kunucha, Kunucha, Kunucha.
Thank you.
Today, we are thankful to be able to honor so many elders, and our time has run away. But there is one here before we turn this microphone over to Ryan X and Stacy Shaw as we organize ourselves to move back to 12th and Locust. There is a brother who has been here for decades, fighting the fight in Kansas City. And we want to acknowledge and have stand our beloved elder, Brother Leon Dixon. Brother Dixon, won't you stand, please? It takes the wisdom of the elders and the energy of a new generation. Thank you. Please receive our beloved brother, leader, organizer, courage man, Brother Ryan X.
I know we been out here for a long time. Can I get everybody to just come in just a little bit? We're on the last 2 speakers. I just want to bring everybody in a little bit.
Not too tight.
Not too tight. We still gonna social distance. When I say Ashe, I need you to say power. Ashe! 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 When I say get your knee, I need you to say off our neck. Get your knee! Off our neck! Get your knee! Off our neck! Get your knee! Off our neck! So when we talk about the movement being a marathon, not a sprint, I want to echo the people who spoke before me and pay homage to some of the long-distance runners that we are blessed to have in our presence today. I'm talking about the NAACP, the SCLC, the Urban League. These are long-distance runners. They've been in the game for a minute, y'all. And I personally believe in Sankofa. I don't want to claim the future until I know where I come from, who produced me, how I got here. Your routes are going to be messed up if your roots ain't strong. That actually reminds me of page 137 of John Lewis's autobiography, where he was talking about growing up in a place where he wasn't legally allowed to walk on the same side of the street as a white person. He wasn't legally allowed to do it, so if a white person started to walk close to him, he would actually have to cross the street.
That ain't right.
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 And he said that one thing that he remembered from his childhood was that his grandmother would never abide by this law. He said his grandmother would never abide by this law. And he called that refusal to bow to injustice, he called it soul force. He called it soul force. And I think that's the most powerful aspect of what brings us here today. Our elders and ancestors have shown us that we don't have to start from scratch. We have a blueprint of what soul force looks like, of what fearless resistance looks like, and what the black radical tradition looks like. It looks like fighting for liberation regardless of what the police say they're gonna do to us.
That's right.
Are y'all afraid of the police?
Fuck no!
Are y'all afraid of the police?
Fuck no!
Are y'all afraid of the pigs?
Fuck no!
You're talking about a lineage of people who are getting assaulted by high-velocity water hoses, ravaged by police dogs, lynched, houses burnt down, churches bombed, every form of white supremacist violence inflicted upon us. And they still remain resolute to the vision of revolution, of black liberation, because they had a radical love for our people.
Say that.
This is a radical moment that we are in. It is not a time to be afraid, it's a time to be prepared. I'm gonna say that one more time because I think it might have went over some people's heads.
I got it.
This is not a time to be afraid, this is a time to be prepared.
That's right.
We're not gonna let no Kyle Rittenhouse, no Proud Boys, no Boogie Boys, no KCPD, no federal agents scare us into submission. The legacy that I come from, and the legacy that we come from, I'm talking Ella Baker, Angela Davis, Asada Shakur, Fred Hampton, Huey P. Newton, Ida B. Wells, have not only been willing to live for the movement, they've been prepared to die for the movement. We overcome, and we have overcame one of the most violent institutions that the world has ever seen in chattel slavery.
That's right.
Yes.
That was a movement for abolition.
Yes.
That was a movement for abolition. When we talk about defunding and abolishing the police, this isn't anything new. We don't need, and we wouldn't need, white overseers. Notice I'm using the word overseers. We wouldn't need white overseers in our communities if we properly invested in healthcare, in mental health, in education. We're actually saying abolish the police. I want to make that clear. And I want to say one other thing before I wrap up here. I'm a peaceful protester. I'm a peaceful protester. But if we're going to denounce looters, let's start with Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg. We are billionaires who have increased their profit margins by billions over the course of coronavirus. COVID-19. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. If you want to talk about looters, don't talk to me about the Louis Vuitton stores and looting. Please don't do it. If we're going to talk about looters, we got to talk about Jeff Bezos. The people's at the highest level of the corporations. Capitalism, Amazon, capitalism commodification. We're talking about capitalists, billionaires, who are actually looting the people on every single day, on a daily basis. And you want to talk to me about $100 getting, looted from some store out in the plaza from J.C. Nichols, who was a segregationist in the first place. Come on now, man. So I'm gonna wrap it up. The last thing I want to say is what I always say, is that we are in a moment of crisis, and it has always been moments of crisis that propel us into what our duty is. That we have to speak the truth. The truth is the condition of allowing suffering to speak.
Yes, it is.
We got to seek justice.
Yes.
We know that justice is what love looks like in public.
Yes.
And so I really appreciate everyone coming out here. This is a monumental moment, and we have a lot more to do, a lot more work to do. So when I say Ashe, I need you to say power again. Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! Thank you.
One of the families brutalized by the KCPD is here. We stand with them, support them, defend them. We will not be silent till justice comes. Greet the Cameron Land family. Lift your hands and say hello to them. Encourage them to show peace and love. We have many persons we want to acknowledge and honor, but the hour is late. We've got to organize ourselves to go forward. We thank and praise God. We want to ask you to hear that Brother Steve and Sister, she's here, Winifred, are on 12th and Locust every Friday. 6 o'clock every Friday. Be there. Our silence is our complicity. We will not shut up. We do have those who have been awarded today. Our time is running so long, we've got to organize ourselves. We will do that privately here, and we call upon now Stacey Shaw to come for our final speaker and our move toward 12th and Locust.
And the last speaker that you will hear before we conclude a march that is historic for this city. And I had some things to say. I had some things that I've been preparing to tell you all week long. But as I look out and I see the people that decided to stay in the heat when other people had to go, when other people did not show up, I had a special message for the people that stayed behind today. The biggest and most effective weapon that our adversaries have against us is fear and confusion. Fear and confusion. And so I talked earlier about us being warriors in the war against systemic racism, white supremacy, and fascism in America. Fear is more powerful than rubber bullets, more powerful than a long rifle, more powerful than jail. Fear will stop us from moving forward.
Yes.
And right now, in this movement,
Yes.
starting
Yes.
on May 29th,
Yes.
starting today,
Yes.
continuing tomorrow,
Yes.
continuing for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we are in this until the end. And in this fight, in this war, we do not have room, we do not have time for weakness.
Say it.
We do not have time. We will not tolerate fear among us anymore.
No.
The second most powerful weapon is confusion.
Say it, Stacey.
You have heard speaker after speaker for the last 2 hours. The leaders of the movement for Black liberation in Kansas City, they gave a charge.
Yes.
They gave the soldiers in the movement an order.
Yes.
They gave you a directive.
Yes.
They didn't say that you're going to stay at home on November 3rd.
What did they say, Stacey?
They said we are going to leverage our collective power and we are going to vote.
Vote. Vote.
We are going to leverage our collective power and we are going to vote. We didn't say protest. We didn't say 10% show up.
Say it, Stacey.
We didn't say 25% decide that they don't like the people on the ballot, so they're going to make a point.
Say it, Stacey.
The movement, the revolution for Black liberation in Kansas City.
Yes.
We gave a directive, and that directive was for you to show up
And what?
and use your collective power
To what?
to send a message to Jackson County,
Yes.
to the state of Missouri,
Yes.
to the United States of America, that we ain't playing no more.
No more. No more. No more.
And that level of power only comes with unity.
Yes, it does.
That level of power is only present when we don't have confusion.
Say it, Stacey.
When we are marching together, when we are in one accord.
What a group.
So if you are part of this movement
Say it, Stacey.
for black liberation,
Say it, Stacey.
if you're a part of this movement
Say it, Stacey.
for black liberation,
Liberation.
you have got your marching orders.
You got it. Say it, Stacey.
And we're going to start being disciplined.
Say it, Stacey.
We are going to start requiring more sacrifice,
Yes.
more showing up, because we do not have time to be marching for another 50 years.
Thank you. Say it again, Stacey. No more. No more. No more. No more.
I told you about that 13-year struggle.
Yes.
And if we have to struggle for 13 years straight, that will be the last time we got to get in these streets.
Thank you.
And so it's going to take more than you just sharing posts on social media.
That's right.
We need people to show up. We need people to be disciplined.
Yes.
We need people to be committed
Yes.
to this liberation
Yes.
revolution.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And so all of you, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like,
Yes.
today you have proved that you are revolutionary.
Yes.
Today you have proved that you're an activist.
Yes.
You have proved that you are ready, you are willing to put it all on the line.
Yes.
Because liberation will not come without sacrifice.
Yes, it will not.
Liberation,
Yes.
the liberation of black people, which is
Liberation.
central to the liberation of all people, will not come without your sacrifice.
Yes. Yes.
And so the last thing you hear today, before we mobilize back to 12th and Locust to stand in solidarity with our brother and sister Stephen Wynn,
That's right.
before we march back and then we stand in solidarity
Solidarity.
at police headquarters,
Solidarity.
because we don't keep banking hours when we're revolutionaries.
Yes.
We don't say we can only give what's comfortable.
Yes.
You have to get accustomed.
Yes.
You gotta settle in
Yes.
to being uncomfortable,
Yes.
to start sacrificing, to start showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Yes.
What we're going to do, we've already had our training.
Yes.
Right now, I'm going to tell you that we are going to test what we have been saying this entire time today.
Go ahead, Stacey. Say it.
We're gonna take the streets,
Take it.
and we don't have police escorts. Our permit has expired, but I have never asked for permission to resist oppression in Kansas City. I am for no permit.
Say it, Stacey. Say it.
Because I know when I get my paycheck, KCMO is taking out every single paycheck.
Every time. All of it.
So we're not asking permission. We're going to take these streets.
Come on. Thank you.
Because right now, we don't have justice.
You know what?
And the police thought they were cute by abandoning us early.
Yeah.
They thought they would teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
But they don't know the people, the warriors, the soldiers that have been out in these streets for 14 weeks straight.
Yes.
They don't know us like they think they know us.
Say it, Stacey. Say it.
We are people that they have abused.
Yes,
They have
Stacey.
locked up.
Yes, Stacey.
They have treated us
Yes,
like
Stacey.
animals.
Yes.
And we have still continued to resist.
Still we say you exist. Yes.
So right now, we're going to take the streets.
Yes.
There are seasoned freedom fighters
Yes.
that are going to be marshaling.
Yes.
We're going to chant, and we're going to have to stay close.
Yes.
Because right now, if any of you all were not revolutionary, we're not rule breakers, if you were obedient even in the face of injustice, today you're going to get your test.
Say it again, Stacey. You want to say your freedom. Yes.
When I say Ashe, you are going to channel the centuries of warriors that have come before you.
1619.
Because there are African warriors
Tell her, Stacy, tell her.
whose blood is coursing through our veins.
Yes.
There are Scottish warriors.
Yes.
There are people that came from Europe and Latin America that painted their faces, that put on their war paint, that put on their armor. That blood is coursing through all of us.
Yes, it is.
So it doesn't matter what you look like.
Yes.
You got a warrior inside of you.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who you love. It doesn't matter where you came from.
Yes.
This country was built on rebellion. This country was built on people putting it on the line. Even though they had to risk their lives, risk their freedom, risk their comfort, risk their friends. That is what America is made of.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So as we chant, we're going to start right out on this road and we're going to take the streets. Because we're not afraid of the police. This ain't Kenosha.
No. This ain't
And I'm going to
Portland.
say this again. This ain't Kenosha.
Kenosha.
So whenever people think that they're going to come here and do us harm, you finna get your ass beat.
They ain't Portland. We're not scared.
I'm going to say it again. This ain't Kenosha.
Say it again, Stacy.
This ain't Portland.
This ain't
This is
Portland.
Kansas City,
This is
Missouri.
Kansas City. This is show me
And we
state.
don't play that here.
This is show me state. And we show out.
When I say Ashay! 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 Let's get this party started!
No power. Yeah. Stacy. Stand.
Where's my Black Rainbow family?
What is?
Black Rainbow family, we're gonna get this march started.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, Black Rainbow family, we're gonna lead us out right over here. And we're gonna be chanting. We're going to your left, and we're gonna start chanting. You need to stay tight. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
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 Okay. Okay, you might have seen it on Facebook. You might have seen how we do it on Instagram. But if this is your first march, if this is your first march with Black Rainbow, with No Kansas Coalition, if this is your first march with the resistance, you are in for an experience of a lifetime. Whose street?
Our streets!
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 No justice?
No peace!
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 What do we want?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
We don't get.
Shut it down!
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 What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! No peace! 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 No peace!
Who has bail money?
I do!
Who has bail money?
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Because when we have this order, it's really important because we may not be able to give you a verbal command. So when you see this at the very front of the march, it needs to resonate all the way back. We're going to try it again. Up here? Okay, good, good. All right, now we're going to do one more exercise because we are taking the street without permission. And so at the opposite time, there will be a chant. And this chant, hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. Hands up. Don't shoot. And this we need 100% compliance. This means that the police are weaponizing and militarizing against us. That's important because if on the 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock news, I want all of Kansas City to see that the Kansas City Police Department makes unarmed people. That's why it's important that 100% of people are compliant. Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! No justice? No peace! Good. And when we change the chant, because right now you guys are getting on-the-ground training. And this is training that people have been at protests learning for the last month. So if this is your first time with training, raise your hand. If this is your first time being trained. That's what I'm talking about. Because we're going to have you at more action. So, when we do hands up, don't shoot, then when you hear the chant change, everybody puts their hands down. Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! No justice? No peace! No justice? No peace! Okay, the last hand signal. This is forward. Okay? So forward. That means that if we stop, we're all moving together. Okay, we're going to try one time. Hands up! Don't shoot! Hands up! Don't shoot! No justice? No peace! No justice! 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 No peace! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! We don't get it, shut it down! We don't get it, shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Now! Okay, when the color is, so you follow my hand from this way, that means that we are moving to the left. That means we're to the left. Right now, we're saying to the right of the yellow double line. That's really important. All the way out at that marker, like this side of the street. So when you practice this, what's the street? Right. Go right, sit down. What does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? Forward. Go forward. Let's go. Forward. Let's pop it up. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Whose street? Our street. 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 No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. 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 Ryan Stokes. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. 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 Ryan Stokes. Justice for Cameron Lamb. Say his name. Cameron Lamb. Say his name. Cameron Lamb. Say his name. Cameron Lamb. Justice for John Albert. Say his name. John Albert. Say his name. John Albert. Say his name. John Albert. Justice for John Albert. Say his name. 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 John Albert. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Justice for Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Say his name. Ryan Stokes. Black Lives Matter. 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 Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 Get your knee off our neck. 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 Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets? Our streets. When I say fuck, you say clown. Fuck. Clown. Fuck. Clown. When I say fuck, you say pigs. Fuck. Pigs. Fuck. Pigs. Okay, we got it clapping. Y'all weren't ready for that. We're taking it to the next level. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. We ain't afraid of cops. 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 Fire Rick Smith. 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 Hey, hey, ho, ho. Rick Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Rick Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Rick Smith has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Howdy, 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 ho. And howdy, howdy, ho. These racist cops have got to go. These racist cops have got to go. If they don't bring some justice now, they don't bring some justice now, we're gonna shut it all down. We're gonna shut it all down. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. These racist cops have got to go. These racist cops have got to go. If they don't give us justice now, if they don't give us justice now, we're gonna shut it all down. 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 Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. These racist cops have got to go. These racist cops have got to go. If we don't get some justice now, if we don't get some justice now, we're gonna shut it all down. 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 What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do
no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police, no justice, no peace. Take it to the streets and fuck the police. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. Racist cops have got to go. Racist cops have got to go. If we don't get some justice now. We don't get some justice now. We're gonna shut it all down. We're gonna shut it all down. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. Racist cops have got to go. Racist cops have got to go. If we don't get some justice now. We don't get some justice now. We're gonna shut it all down. We're gonna shut it all down. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. These racist cops have got to go. Racist cops have got to go. If we don't get some justice now. We don't get some justice now. We gotta shut it all down. We gotta shut it all down. We're gonna 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 shut it all down. Shut it 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 all down. Shut it all down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Shut it 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 all down. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. These racist cops have got to go. Racist cops have got to go. If we don't get our justice now. We don't get our justice now. We're gonna shut it all down. 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 We ain't afraid of cops. 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 Who got bail money? I do. 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 Shout out to Operation Liberation. Shout out to Operation Liberation. They've been bailing people out all summer. Shout out to KC Bail Fund. They've been bailing people out all summer. Shout out to Black Rainbow. Shout out to Miller Dream. Shout out to the Big Three, STLC, NAACP, Urban League. Shout out Matt Baby. Shout out KC Tenets. Heidi, 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 ho! Heidi, 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 ho! Rick Smith has got to go! Rick Smith has got to some justice now.
We're gonna shut it all down.
We're gonna shut it all down.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Heidi, 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 ho.
Rick Smith has got to go.
Rick Smith has got to go.
If we don't get some justice now,
We don't get some justice now.
we're gonna shut it all down.
Gonna shut it all down.
No justice,
No peace.
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 no justice.
No peace.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Now we taking the streets. We gotta show them, we gotta let them hear whose streets these are, because we are literally taking the streets. Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose city?
Our city.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
No justice!
No peace.
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 Black lives matter!
Black lives matter.
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 Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Our streets! 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 No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! Black lives matter! 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 No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace. No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter.
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 I say!
Helen.
I say!
Helen.
I people who murdered our brother Ryan Stokes. No! Gene Peters, back up! We want answers! Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Gene Peters, back up!
We want answers!
Ryan Stokes, say his name!
Ryan Stokes!
Say his name!
Ryan Stokes!
Justice for!
Ryan Stokes!
Justice for!
Ryan Stokes!
Justice for!
Ryan Stokes!
We just saw where a man was murdered by city employees who've gotten away with murder on our dime. They're being paid with our tax dollars. Justice for!
Ryan Stokes!
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 Black lives matter!
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 Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! peace.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
People. That's power. People. Power. People.
Power.
People.
Power.
People.
Power.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
if we don't get it.
Shut it down.
I need everybody who's not afraid to put their body on the line to make a barricade right here around our people.
Right here, right
People
here,
will
right
put their
here.
bodies on the line.
Okay, it's got additional body training. Right now, this is what is code black. When we say code black, there's a high risk of arrest, there's a high risk of injury. Anyone that cannot get arrested, they are Team Yellow. There is no shame in Team Yellow. You are going to go across the street on the sidewalk.
I'm sorry, sir, but we do not want to hear what you have to say. We do not want to hear what you have to say. I'm sorry.
You guys just need to stay off the property.
We will do that when you stop killing us. We will do that when you stop killing us.
The property that we pay for. This just is just the property that we
That's fine. We'll do that when you stop killing us.
You guys come on this side.
I think that might be the officer that makes me in the face. Hold on. Hey, here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going on. Right now, here's what happened. On July 17th, my name is Attorney Stacey Shaw. While standing next to a protester, I was maced in the face by Officer Jack Carter. He has not been sanctioned. He has not been disciplined for macing an innocent person in the face. Then Mayor Lucas, who has received $31,000 from the Fraternal Order of Police. After people were maced, they were arrested, they were dragged to the ground. He took time to stand in front of this statue. He did not.
We want justice.
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 KCPD.
We ain't scared. We ain't scared. We ain't scared.
We want justice.
We want justice.
We want justice.
We want justice.
When you stop killing us, we'll stop doing it. We'll do it right now.
Right now, everyone who is here, if you are Team Red, which needs to go for Red. We've been talking all summer about not being afraid of the police, about having bail money, Operation Liberation, bail bondsmen are on the scene. The attorney on duty today from Liberty Lawyers KC is Jordan Bear. When I say, who's my lawyer, you're going to say Jordan Bear. You got that? Who's my lawyer? Jordan Bear! 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 Okay, this is very important because people that are on this side of the street are Team Red. That means if you get arrested, you do not resist. What you need to do is shout out your name and birthday. Because everyone on this side of the street is Team Red. That means that we have bail money for you, that we have an attorney for you, if you are on this side of the street. Okay? Very important. Because the police office, the Kansas City Police Department has a policy that they will not allow you to speak to a lawyer during a 24 investigative hold. We have the ACLU looking to sue them about that. They play with the wrong people. So when you get arrested, if you get arrested today, who do you ask for? Who's your lawyer? Jordan Bear! Who's your lawyer? Jordan Bear! Who's your lawyer? Jordan Bear! You ask for Jordan Bear. And if they refuse to allow you to speak to your lawyer, if they are not charging you, you take that officer's name as a Class A misdemeanor.
Period.
Badge number 7698. We are already going after his badge. We're not playing with the police department. We've been too nice.
Period.
We have asked. We have written letters. We have phone calls. We have done everything within our legal power to challenge and resist the racist, murderous policies of the Kansas City Police Department. That is a fact. And so right now, I don't know the legality of declaring publicly funded property somewhere where you can't trespass. Who has Mayor Quentin Lucas's number?
I do.
Call him up. Call up your mayor right now. Start tagging him online. And ask him how he is allowing publicly funded property that you pay for, you pay for, you pay for, you pay for. How is he allowing publicly funded property to be somewhere where the public can't be? Get him on the phone.
Real quick, I want to add something real quick too. I just want to give it up for our freedom fighters right here who wasn't afraid of the police. Give it up for our freedom fighters. It's always important that we recognize the people who are willing to make sacrifices. This isn't the first time that they've been out here. They're out here every single Friday. For how many weeks? 14 weeks they've been out here for every single Friday, putting their bodies on the line. Give it up for them one more time again. And this is the first time that they declared this trespass. So now they don't want us to. Right, he put chains up now. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right. So, I just want to say a few things. I had something prepared, so just bear with me, okay? Yeah. So my name is Steve, and this is my life partner right here, Wynn. So we're the couple who've held a protest outside of KCPD headquarters every Friday for the last 14 weeks that has evolved into a memorial of Kansas City Black Life. And we're also members of Black Rainbow. So why don't we go ahead and talk about Kansas City Police Department? While it's important to focus on systemic police violence and racism across this nation, let's not forget, we have racist and killer cops right here in this city. Killer cops patrolling our neighborhoods, terrorizing our people. Killer cops being paid our tax dollars to inflict harm and trauma, block by block. Killer cops collecting pensions after leaving families devastated from their total disregard for human life. For far too long, the Kansas City Police Department has run rampant through our communities, unchecked, brutalizing, and killing our black and brown brothers and sisters. Right here, in this building, who killed Donnie Sanders?
Who killed Donnie Sanders?
Many of us have chanted the names Ryan Stokes, Terrence Bridges, Donnie Sanders, and Cameron Lamb, all murdered by Kansas City police. But have you heard of Travis Terrell Griffin? Rails, as he was known, was shot in the back by Kansas City police January 2018. His killer, Jacob Alexander, is still on the force. Say his name, Travis Griffin. Now here's some more names you probably never heard. Tyler Wilkins was just 16 years old when he was also shot in the back by KCPD in 2013. He was running away from the police when the bullet entered his spine, killing him after a less than 50-yard chase. Say his name, Tyler Wilkins. Jessica Jones was shot and killed on February the 23rd, 2010. Jessica was 19 years old when 4 KC cops unloaded their clips into the SUV Jessica was driving. But not one of the officers sustained any injury. Say her name, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Terry Davis was killed by the Kansas City Police Department on May the 8th, 2008. 2 independent witnesses say he had his hands up and he was on his knees surrendering when he was shot by a lone officer. And yet, no one has ever been held accountable for his murder. Say his name, Terry Davis.
Terry Davis.
James McNeil Jr. was 29 and the father of 2 beautiful boys. KCPD said they thought he had a weapon when they killed him in January 2003. But no weapon was ever found. The police also claimed there was a struggle outside the vehicle. But witnesses say, and evidence showed, he never got out of the car. James was the son of Josephine McNeil, a friend and colleague of Wynn's. James was murdered by KCPD 17 years ago. If it can happen to someone we know, it can happen to anyone.
guy's name? James McNeil Jr.
James McNeil Jr.
And the list goes on and on and on. KCPD has been killing our people for decades. And until a couple of months ago, not a single officer had ever been charged, leaving them to kill at will. And for the record, Dylan Pfeiffer, the cop who killed Terrence Bridges and assisted in the assault of 15-year-old MR, is also still on the force. This is why every Friday at 6 p.m., we hold space for victims of KCPD violence.
Black power.
We turn a memorial for police into a memorial for Black lives. Call for the resignation of Chief Rick Smith and demand accountability and justice for these victims.
Black power.
So we ask for you to please continue to come out, because we have no intention on stopping.
All power to the people.
All power to them.
So at this point, I just want to thank, Black Rainbow, and also It's Time for Justice. They always come out here and support us also, and we just always want to use this opportunity to, to say the names of say the names of, my bad, I'm sorry.
Take your time. Take your time.
Take your time. Take power. Just always want to take the opportunity to say the names of Ryan and Cameron, Donnie and Terrence, Travis and James, Jessica and Terry, and other victims you never heard of, like Carl Marshall, Kevin Ellis, Michael Ray Bitters, Yamal Edwin Irwin. These are all human beings. They're all loved by somebody, all killed by KCPD, and all who deserves justice. Say their names. But there's too damn many to say.
Too many.
That is so sad.
All right.
Thank you for coming out.
Cheers.
So at this point, we're kind of at a standstill. We don't know what they're going to do in that building. We don't know if they're going to come out with riot gear on, because we really pissed them off because we jumped over their little chain. That little chain, right? Yeah, fuck your chain. Yeah.
Pay for the chain.
All this time that we've been coming out here, and we've been able to just walk up to this monument, even though it hurts their feelings, because I call this a monument of racist ass cops. That's what I call it every time I see it. Because I guarantee you that the majority of those cops during Jim Crow, they didn't care about none of these Black lives that are out here.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if they had a Black person on the force, they damn near gave them hell and pushed them out the door.
Talk your shit.
So now they decide to put the plastic all over the monument, and then put the little yellow police tape. That's supposed to stop us, and we just come out and just tear it down. And now they decide to put this chain up, and now they're saying, we're trespassing. This is public property.
Yeah.
Since when we start trespassing on public property?
Yeah.
Anybody that pay taxes in this city, we help pay for this damn building.
Yeah. Pay for that damn statue. Yeah.
So now they're gonna make up laws, because that's what the police do. They make up laws as they go. And if you don't know your rights, then they got you.
That's right.
Then they got you when you don't know your rights. But they'll always try to make a law up right on the spot. And you see all their asses walk in the door. Then none of them walk down here and arrest nobody.
Yeah.
All they did is warn us. But what they do, they walk their asses back in that building.
Yeah.
Because they know good and well that that's not right.
Yeah.
They just trying to deter us. And actually, we're gonna get more signs, and we're gonna start putting shit on that monument too.
Yeah.
So just, if you can just keep supporting us, if we can have the numbers out here, because they're already sick of seeing us every Friday. They're tired of us. And they've made it clear. They've walked up to us and said, because of us being out here, they gotta be here. Oh, fucking well.
Yeah.
Too fucking bad.
I'll be here.
Sound too much.
Chief Rick Smith has got to go.
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 Hey, hey. fast going 6 months back.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hold on.
Is everybody too tired to march on the power line?
So the other thing that we do, we have...
I'm just saying, are y'all too tired?
As we march to the transit center.
Hey, fuck a mic. Y'all listen to this. Listen to this. I don't need a mic. Listen, I was beat up by some racist ass white people. Check this out. They took me, they threw me to the ground.
Sit down. This
ain't about you.
I can say this.
Yeah, try again. No, stop.
No, you
No.
No, let it go. Let it go. It's alright. Let it go. It's alright. So the other thing we do is...
I don't know why you're trying to put a point over there.
Yeah, what we do is we usually, hey.
I'm taking the stand.
You're talking a little too loud. I need your help.
Okay.
You're talking too loud.
So what we normally do, it's really not that far of a march, it's not that long. You know, if I have your support, we usually march down to the detention center and we make some noise for all the people that's being held there, you know, because they can hear us. They usually bang on the windows and everything, you know, because they hear us. We show them love because a lot of, all of them, basically, they're being held until they go to trial. You know, and some of them are actually innocent, but they can't bail out. You know, so they have to sit there in that detention, for how long, we don't know, and it's dangerous up in that place. And then we just march down to the power and light, and we usually go through the areas where everybody is sitting and eating, and we make noise around them, and we disturb their meals, because they're sitting there, enjoying their meals, and and they don't realize what's going on and how many people are being killed right here in Kansas City. So we have to just take it to them. And then we just march back around and then come right back up here and then call it a night.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Do it.
We want to do that? I have y'all support. All right.
We're going to have 2 groups, okay? We're going to have the group that marches and the group that disperses. There's not a third group. So if you're going to march in solidarity with this protest, then you are leaving. If you are not marching, then you are going to disperse, because we have legal observers, we have our lawyer on staff, we have security for only one protest. We can't do 2 things at one time. And so thank you so much for all of the allies that are centering Black voices in this movement. And this is always a point of education. Because right now in Black Lives Matter, people may not realize that in the Black Lives Matter movement, that it centers Black voices. Why do we center Black voices? Because Black voices are not centered anywhere else. Black people, Black trans people are left behind in every single sector, every space in America except this one.
Period.
And so that's why we say we center Black voices, because this may be the only time that Black voices are centered. And we don't want to start amassing all of this power. We don't want to be so powerful. But in our ignorance, we build a stronger white supremacy structure. That we build a stronger racist structure. That's why it's so important for us to be educated, and for the people that have lived their entire lives as oppressed people, that we center their voices and allow those voices to guide this revolution for Black liberation.
Period.
That's what it is. And so I know that some people will have a story. We need you to tell your story to your friends. We need you to tell your story to your family that is saying that you shouldn't come out here and protest for people that look like me. That's where we need you to tell your story. We need you to tell your story at your job, where you know they are discriminating against Black people, where you know that people are being treated unfairly. Tell your story there. Use your privilege. Use your voice. Use your resources. Use your privilege. Weaponize your privilege there. Don't wait until you come here and want to take the microphone from a black man. Come on now. And so when we're talking about liberation, we have to start unpacking our own white supremacy, our own paradigms, our own issues. That's the first part of your revolution. That's the first part to being a radical, is taking care of your own prejudices and saying, what am I doing to uphold white supremacy? How am I allowing my family to uphold white supremacy? How am I marginalizing my black and brown brothers and sisters in my everyday life? And you saw a man over here that said, I got a story to tell. That him, as a white man, how dare he be accosted by the police? How dare he be beat up and arrested? And that's the lived experience for most black men in America. Yeah. So it's so important. It's so important that we continue to learn, we continue to educate ourselves, we continue to challenge ourselves, because we don't want to create a more powerful white supremacy. We don't want to create a more powerful police department. We want to dismantle what our ancestors built. Because my ancestors were slaves to some of your ancestors. And my ancestors helped build America. But we built an America that wasn't for us. We built an America that was for the benefit of people that looked like some of you out here today. And so it's so important to stay in this fight, but to stay in the fight for the right reason. And to center the people that need your support the most. Because many of you will go home with your privilege tonight. You will wake up with your privilege. You will wake up people giving you the benefit of the doubt. You will wake up not having to be afraid for your life when you walk down the street in the wrong neighborhood. When you get stopped by the police for a traffic stop. You will get to go home with that privilege. And some of us got to still stay in this skin and walk it down every day. That's why we give the mic to those people. Because lived experience is the best teacher. Because I can tell you what it's like to have my privilege stripped away. What it's like to be treated like you're nothing. For people not to care that you're a lawyer. They didn't care when I was a lawyer when they maced me in my face. They didn't care that I was a lawyer when they came up behind me. They passed 3 people with lawyer on my back. They passed 3 people to get to me in Overland Park. And now I gotta stand trial with another black woman from Kansas City because we were advocating for people on the other side of state line. Because we're not forgetting our brothers and sisters just because they live in Johnson County or Lee Summit or Grandview and they got it a little bit better than the people down at 63rd and Troost. Because there's still racism and there's still oppression right there. There's still people getting pulled over because they are black in Johnson County. And we have to stand in solidarity with them too. And so we're going to, I gave you guys a little bit of a chance to decide if you're going to be on the marching crew or if you guys are going to disperse.
Yeah, as soon as we leave, we have a couple of people who are staying, but I'm sure that they're going to.
No, she wants to.
Hello? Hello? Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Nicole Rally. It doesn't matter if my last name is Rally and y'all last name rallies. Don't commit felonies. Don't. Don't. Because it's a joke. They have you twisted. That's why I never did drugs. That's why I say now 43 years. I was watching Cops. I said, wasn't that the nigga that was... He said, no, it wasn't me. Yeah, I kept watching Cops. And then this dude from Kansas said, turn that shit up. Quit smoking cigarettes. Excuse me, can I cuss? I said, get out of my house. Then I went back to the Muslim. I was going to the Muslim. Muslim song. Yeah. Not next year, fine. We're going to fight for all races. I don't care if you're a morphodite, a fairy, gay. They turned you that way. And now you're mad. That's why you like punk rockers. Cause it was embarrassing. Never did my kids like that. I might act up and dress in old fashioned. My mama had a holy, what was that, dress with red lipstick and wig was on the same. We love our kids. No matter what color they are. You gotta take them from us. I have 10 children. I went to home, went to school. If I was, okay, I was my teenager. But then, I went to school, people! Here, Chris! Got my GED, gave it to Jerry. This is what I would give it to. I would give stuff to Jerry, Billy, and Patrick. Yes, I would. You, your brother's keeper. Keeper, people. Not Jeepers Creepers.
All right, we're about to go march. All right, we about to go.
Now say it already.
Let's go.
That's wrong. Let us grow.
So the groups are splitting up into two protests, and one of them is going to march, and I'm going to stick with them and follow through along their route. But some of them are going to stay here, or actually I think some of them are actually just going to disperse. So it's actually only going to be one protest that's actually going to march, so I'm going to go with them.
Okay, if there's someone who can't stay behind with the two allies that we have over there, it would probably help. Because they're just waiting for all of us to leave, and then they're just going to come and ransack the memorial. But if not, if you can come with us, then let's go. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. Let's go.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! These races go home! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Go home! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Come on, y'all! Ho ho! Y'all gotta get a little bit louder today. I know we got a small group.
We got this.
Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho ho! These racist cops have got to go! Wall Street! 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 Wall City! 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 Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
These racist ass. Go home. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. These racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. You can't stop the revolution. Our streets. 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 Our streets.
All right, let's go around this side real quick. Show them some love.
You're innocent until proven guilty. hey! These racist cops have got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! These racist cops have got to go! Go home! Go home! Black Lives Matter! 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 No justice! No peace! 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 Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Black Lives Matter! 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 Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! If we don't get it, shut it down! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 19.
So you guys, and I was having a hard time, y'all gotta walk like I'm an old woman inside. I'm 53. Before we go in this power night, here's what we need to understand. Most of us are already carrying signs that they're gonna equate us to Black Lives Matter. But as we enter this space, I'm going to ask that we not chant that. And there's a reason why. Because what they hear is what we say. But if they hear Black Lives Matter one time, that's all they're going to hear, and they're going to tune everything else out. So at this moment, let's decide what is our most important thing that we want to get done in the city. So as soon as we enter this space, that is the only thing that we say. Fire Rick Smith. Huh? Right, because we don't want them to say, I was eating dinner and they came through with these Black Lives Matter people. Because if we say, fire Rick Smith, if we say that Rick Smith has actually endorsed killer cops of having charges unsubstantiated, then when they see that in the news, that's going to click. That's what the people were down there mad about. So we need to make sure that they understand that we're not just out here protesting for my life, for your life, for your life. We have to make sure they understand that we're out here protesting for change. Yes, ma'am. So that's the only reason why I ask, as we enter this space, make sure they hear what our real ask is.
So that you shut it off. Black Lives Matter! 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 Fire
Sorry guys, the stabilizer battery died, so I had to switch to a different handheld. So I'm catching up to the crowd now. So this is really close to Power and Light in Kansas City, Missouri. A small group decided to keep on marching, and they're going down there right now. I'm about to catch up a little. So we're going inside of Power and Light now.
You missed it. You do the same.
I might be calling from jail.
Good, got to go. Rick Smith has got to go. He's treats like you. Babysitter.
It's all good.
With him, watch him, so he's
He's not that guy. But apparently, Nationals want him. Sometimes there's a player that may not be a himself, but he's exactly what that team needs.
thing too. You know, you look back at the Royals' success in that trade with Milwaukee, right? You know, in Lorenzo Kane, and see essentially the trade with Tampa Bay, Wade Davis and James Shields. So these guys have a couple of those trades. Eloy Jimenez and Dylan Cease, the Cubs. You got the 3 starting pitchers for the Nationals, and they're going for Chris Sale. And it's hit hard, and it is hit right at Luis Robert. I mean, right at him. So well for the Royals. The last 2 minutes of the
for the kitchen and bathroom. Get 11% off all modern faucets. Stop it and start saving. With 11% off everything at Locust. Save big money. Now get a free logo when you buy 2 because it's football season. If you've been waiting for it, you need help now.
Every day you wait, you can make more chances of getting a full salary.
You can hire away your life and your family with any team. That quick sign program, you can hire us immediately. We can sign you up over the phone or online and be your lawyers in just a few minutes. How easy is that? In just minutes? That's fast.
Then call, send an email, or even a text. Mike's got this.
You've been hurt in a car wreck. Don't wait. Call your lawyer.
Sign up from anywhere with our safe, no contact access.
We will not let you ignore it. Black and brown people are being brutalized on the street by the Kansas City Police Department. Chief Rick Smith has got to go. 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 But you know what? We are so tired of having to fight for our humanity. We're still tired of it. So that's why we come to your state and we make you feel uncomfortable. Because how do you think we felt for 400 damn years? Very uncomfortable. I was at a Dunhill mill. I don't care. I don't care. I will make you feel uncomfortable. Because this shit is going down. This whole thing. And I hope you feel uncomfortable. And I hope you go home and talk about it.
Nice. Way to go, Joe. That's fantastic. That's something like character counts. One thing I noticed looking at that team picture, Brady Singer looked like that shark guy. He's 6'5". What they showed, we got to see the picture the first time. I couldn't find it on my phone.
Team Richmond has got to go. Team Richmond has got to go. We're here to introduce you. Team Richmond has got to go. We're on a mission. Let us sink in. Let our message sink in. Let us sink in.
So that was Power and Light. Some of the protesters went up on stage to make their demands heard and to let the people there hear their voices. Right now we're still continuing down the street.
Make sure you stay in time. Make sure you stay in time. Yeah, make sure you stay in time. Go ahead, Mr. Evans, you got this.
We're on the last leg of the march. We're going to just march back up the street.
You got an issue over there?
Candy. Just call it a night. I appreciate everyone coming out and showing your support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Are we good? Yeah. All right. All right.
Take it back, No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. No justice?
No peace.
No justice?
No peace.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
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 no justice,
No peace.
take to the streets and fight the police.
1, 2, 5, 6, y'all follow me. I say fuck, y'all say 12. Fuck! That was good.
Stop. Actually, stop.
Yep, hold your space. Let everybody catch up. Hold it.
Don't forget, we staying tight.
Thank you for the light. Thank you for the light.
What y'all don't understand is the reason why we want Frank Smith gone is because he condones killer cops.
Yes,
He
he does.
sends killer cops back out on the streets 9 days after they murdered so they can go murder again.
Yes.
No care for the police whether or not they're mentally stable. He just puts them back out on the streets to kill. He is the murderer. He is the murderous one. That's why we want him gone.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We're moving now. Do not react to hostile contact.
Do
We
not.
are moving.
Let's
We
go.
don't participate in that.
Let's
We
go.
are participate. We do not touch the hostile contact.
Let's go.
We don't participate.
Let's go. Let's go. You're not interrupting.
We don't
You're not interrupt with him. You're not interrupt with him. Go.
Come on.
I'll drive through. Watch you in your Hummer.
Enjoy your night. Enjoy your night.
Oh, now you got a red light. Now you got a red light. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Everybody, cameras out.
No peace. No peace. No peace. Police. No peace. No peace. No peace. No racist. Police. No justice. 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 No peace. No racist. Police.
Black Lives Matter!
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 Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Let's go in. Let's go.
Our streets! Our streets! Our
streets! Our streets!
We're breaking up. We're almost there. We're almost home. All right? Let's keep everybody together. Let's keep everybody together.
I was just showing the party before I go to the supermarket. But I'm in.
Hey.
I'm still going over there though.
It's all good.
I'll follow up with you.
Black Lives Matter! 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 When I say fuck, you say pig! Fuck! Pig! Fuck! Pig! When I say fuck, you say clown! Fuck! Clown! Fuck! Clown! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, fuck! 12! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 Black Lives Matter. 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 I am revolutionary.
You can't stop the revolution!
Fight the power!
This the time! Troops refuse to fight. Better not mistake the same that they would rather switch.
Fight the power! Yeah! Fuck well! 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 Yeah!
Black Lives Matter! 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 No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace!
Because I know you got soul. Listen, y'all. Swing it one on Hey, everybody! Yo! Slow down! Slow down! Let's slow down! Slow down! Let's come in together!
Slow down! Stick it together, though. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! That's what I'm talking about.
Generations is how long we've been at war. The revolution on our platform. You bring a man mind and his action on solidarity is what I'm wearing on the platform. For comrades who don't talk without me, it's not to try and change our force.
I just want to thank everyone again for coming out and showing some support for our Black Lives Memorial right here. Again, we're here every Friday at 6:00 p.m. And KCPD knows it. Because you can literally come through here during the day and you won't see none of this shit up. But when it gets closer to 6 o'clock and you roll through, they put all this shit up because they know we're coming through. And what's funny is it's only about maybe 4 or 5 of us. And that scares the shit out of them.
We need all of y'all back.
But we do need you.
Okay, so I just want to update you all. While you were away on your march, we stayed here behind with the memorial. As you know, before you left, these pictures and of the unarmed black men that have been killed by Kansas City Police Department, they were inside of the rope. They were inside of the gate next to the statue. So Officer Graves and his clan, his Ku Klux Klan, came out and decided to try to intimidate us. He asked a white woman, Jessica, and I don't apologize, I'm sorry, love you, love you. He came out and asked the white woman to remove the memorial, and if she does not remove the items, they were going to come out and throw them in the trash. This is the regard that they have for human life versus the statue. This is Kansas City Police Department. Their intimidation tactics. This is what we have to deal with in Kansas City, the corrupt system that has been built, that we have to come out here every week to fight against. And then Officer Graves continued to think that the incident was funny. He laughed in our face. He and basically told us, and let me calm down. He's proud of his badge. He's proud of his uniform. And the worst part, it's very unfortunate with a smile and a laugh on his face that over 60 unarmed black men were killed by the Kansas City Police Department. This is Kansas City. This is corrupt Kansas City. This is why we have to continue to stay together, unite, continue to fight for what's right, get out here and vote. Get that sucker out of here November 3rd, because white supremacy is on the rise, and we will not stand for it. We're not here, and we're not fucking afraid of Kansas City Police Department. So please, if you got something to say, get your ass out here now, because we out here. We got bail money. We ain't scared, and we still want to know who the fuck killed Johnny Sanders.
And you want to come out here when we gotta leave. You sit right up here on that sidewalk and you warned us, but you walked your ass back in that building because you knew you didn't have a foot to stand on. But you waited till we leave and you come out here and try to intimidate somebody. I knew that shit was gonna happen.
That's what I thought.
I knew it.
And he wanted to remind that there will be citations for anyone that stepped over the gate.
Oh, man.
And arrest.
We ain't scared.
We actually dropped the flowers on the ground.
We did the best we could to make this as beautiful as this, and you know what I told them? That's okay, because it makes it easier to read. It's closer to the road, it makes it easier to read.
And mind you, he threw them, so there was no regard.
No regard.
He threw them.
No regard.
Right.
No.
Absolutely thought it was worth smiling about.
So,
and he also came out and gave us the exact number of victims from the police shootings and just laughed. So he's like, actually, it's 62. Isn't that too bad?
Oh, wow. You thought they cared. They do not care about us. They do not care about us.
Unarmed black men.
And then he said, yeah, I'm proud of my
He's
proud of my job.
unarmed black people. He said 67. And I got it on camera. Yes.
okay.
Good.
It's out.
So we're gonna wrap it up. I'm pretty sure a lot of people, this has been a long day. It's been a long day. I know it has. But some of us have that protest stamina, and we can just go all night, but we're gonna go ahead and just call it a night. Again, I appreciate everybody for coming out, and if you can continue to show support, please come out here every Friday at 6 p.m. and let's do it.
Please make sure you go away with somebody. Never walk away alone. Quickly and safely.
If y'all want to attend to tomorrow's protest, they do have one tomorrow at 12:30. It's kind of early. On Brookside, at 63rd and Brookside at 12:30.
We do have the installation of the Black Lives Matter street paintings tomorrow as well, everyone. So there's 6 different locations throughout the city. I also want to give honor and respect to this lady that she was talking about some things that we really need to think about. Because as we're talking about getting rid of Rick Smith, he is this one person that we don't have a vote for. But she was mentioning that we need to get Jean Peters Baker out too. So you guys can all do that on November the 3rd. I mean, it's not that I didn't want to shout it, but we need some help to pressure Rick Smith out. But y'all can get, every single one of y'all can get Jean out by casting your vote. Every single one of y'all have that ability to get her out by making sure you cast your vote on November 3rd. So it's not that I didn't want to scream, get rid of Jean Peters Baker, and next week we will, because it'll be closer to election time. But we need to put pressure, so you need to bring your friends out here. We need to make sure that it gets back to where it was in June. The mayor came out and made promises on those steps because so many of y'all were out in the streets, and we have not seen the changes that he's promised. I'm mad about it. Every time I think about a 15-year-old boy being knee-kicked in the back of the head with his face flat down on the concrete to break his teeth, I'm mad about it. So I need y'all to get that anger and get people out. We need to apply pressure by people. That's the only way that the mayor promised the changes, and that's the only way we're going to be able to make him hold to his word.
And one more thing, just to let you know, this is the crew right here that's out here every Friday. Joy, Jessica, and Wynn, and me. And Cheryl. And Cheryl started coming too.
So just to let you know, we're out here faithfully. Again, if you want to show support, just come out here next Friday. And hey, we're gonna make some noise. 6 o'clock. And we're gonna make some noise. All right?
6:30 at 6:30 we arrive, set up.
Yeah, I'm going to run 18 and 5.
That's too early.
Thank you. Hey, anybody voting for
Hey guys, today was a longer day than I'm used to, so I'm a little winded. But this pretty much wraps up the event of the day. I actually will probably be out tomorrow covering the murals. There's some street painting for the Black Lives Matter murals, and I want to cover them since I have time off. So I'll probably see you all tomorrow. But yeah, that was it for today. This is Andre again with the IMA. Check us out at the website. We did just launch Patreon, so help support us if you can, and I'll see you guys next time.